that furniture because it's like from the 70s and 80s, and some reason your parents held on to it. And you're like, my house is not big enough for anything you want to give me.
Absolutely. Oh goodness, stories. I have many stories in this regard. This
poor
zone
Estelle's
that I
death
could
house
tell.
is gone. Got blown up. You blew up Estelle's death house.
Okay, technically speaking, the missing number blew up the death house. I would like the blame to be placed where it belongs.
Well,
that just means Estelle can't die.
Who here at this table rolls the dice or does the things for the missing number?
Oh, it's the program. It's the dice program the dice program that Will found that likes me more than you.
Gotcha.
It
really does. I'm so sad about it too.
I don't even think it was a die roll.
I don't think you did. I think you just narratively destroyed the
house. I don't think the house failed to save. So.
Death House failed to save versus death.
Yeah. You know what? Estelle survived her own death house, and I feel like that's a win when you're that old.
You can't die now. You don't have a death house. You cannot die. Estelle is immortal. Loophole.
Those are the rules.
Or is it just us? Are we just chatting with us? I feel like it might just be us.
Yeah, but it's
fine.
Okay,
it's fine.
It does kind of seem that way. Looking at chat, but you know what? That's fine. It's fine. We'll do it for the VOD. Hey everybody out there in VOD land, how's it going? It's us. It's live from the apocalypse. You know us. You presumably love us. I don't know. Nobody's here. It's us. So hey, we all love us. we all have a good. We all have a good self-esteem about that.
I mean, it's not that easy to find us on YouTube, so if they're watching this, they love us.
Yeah, so it's true. It's true. You had to go through some steps to locate this VOD. So
you
thank
had to
you.
go through one page of Lacuna Coil videos.
It's true. It's true.
You know what? That is love. So therefore, you all love us, and we appreciate it.
Oh, here we got some stuff. We got some people showing up in chat. How's it going? How's it going, chat?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How's it going, chat? It's us. It's your boys live from the apocalypse. Here, doing the tabletops for charity. You know how this works. This charity that we are currently raising money for is the Rainbow Railroad. They are at work worldwide, helping at-risk LGBT plus people get to places of safety from places where they currently are at, where they are not safe. And unfortunately, this is something that is very necessary, even right here in our very own United States of the A, because wow, what a time that it is right now that we are living in.
Hey, guess what? There's fantasy worlds we should be escaping into.
It's true.
Right
It's true. It's true. Fantasy world's definitely better.
Time to dissociate into my imagination.
But before I completely step off the darkness, if you would like to donate during the stream, if you are enjoying what you see here, and we sincerely hope that you are, I was about to do the old description of how you donate. That's not how we do things anymore. We're living in the 21st century now. We've got a button for it. You can go down where the sub button is. You can hit the donate button, and you can then donate to a cause, and you can make the late. I love that you typed late stag capitalism. That's that does put me in the mind of it doesn't put me less in the mind of a horrible eldritch being.
I mean, late stag makes me think of Robert Baratheon, and I do feel like we are in the late Robert Baratheon area of this economy.
But everything gets so much worse after that. But yes, you can hit that button, and you can donate to a really excellent cause, and importantly, you can make the McElroy brothers shout at us and interrupt whatever very intense and emotional scene we were having.
And more importantly, you can protect Billy.
Yet also, when you donate, you do get luck points. We are sitting pretty at 2 luck points over top of that little Pokédex underneath of my face there. That'll probably be enough.
I honestly have had the realization of terror that it may be because at some point we have to battle each other, and I don't think I can use luck points in that scenario. And we can run the tape back on how many times Billy's won an important battle without luck points, and I don't think it bodes well for me.
So look, I'm not going to tell you whether or not I have. You know what? No, I'm gonna do away with the pretense. I have in fact thought about that eventuality, in which case I decided that anyone involved in the fight can in fact use luck points freely. You're allowed to. It's fine. The rules don't suddenly change. And this has nothing to do with the fact that I discovered that holding all of you hostage is in fact a tremendous donation incentive. I cracked the code, guys. I just have to put all of you in danger constantly.
Really, Billy? Because then, like, just if anything happens to Billy, we will in fact riot. So, at your own peril.
Well, on that note, without further ado, we want to get ourselves into introductions here, starting left to right, as we are wont to do. Will, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Let's see. Hello. Hi. My name is Will. I do a bunch of stuff on the channel. You can normally find me here doing things like this. I play Julian Rue, this gentleman, ex-Team Rocket Grunt turned chef. And yeah, normally you can catch me running Academy H and some other stuff around these parts that we'll talk about more at the end, I'm sure. And that's going to be pretty much it. I'm he, him, Julian's he as well. And he's got a sick new outfit, as do we all, as is befitting of a tournament arc.
So say we all.
Hi, I am Heather. I play Estelle East, who is the chaos granny of the group. She is here trying to defend her late husband's gym and also her pseudo children adopted boys that she loves. And also the town, because evil corporations, and she has a history of less granny, but even more chaos involving corporations and underground Pokemon fights and all those fun things. So, yeah, that's who I play, and she, her, for both of us. But yeah, that's it.
Hi, I'm Liz. I play the aforementioned Billy Baker. Billy is our Himbo gym leader. And is here at this tournament because frankly shonen rules dictate it, but also to try and shut down an evil corporation through humiliation, which definitely kind of works in real life examples. My pronouns are she, they, Billy's are he, him, and yeah, that's it.
Hey, it's me. I'm back again. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. My name is Brendan. He, him pronouns. I play everyone else. Architect of befuddlement and misery, as the name suggests. And I think with all of that being out of the way, I think we're about ready to get into it. So last time that we left off with the crew, we had just begun the opening round of the Sylph City Battle Tower Tournament, with both Billy and Julian repping the gym and having succeeded in defeating both of their first round opponents. But in the meantime, while all of this is going on, and while much of the attention and a good amount of the personnel in Sylph City are currently devoted to making this massive tournament happen. It opens up certain opportunities, for mischief and for chaos. Though I cannot for the life of me fathom anyone in this group of incredibly upstanding trainers who would stoop, I say, to exploiting such a potential vulnerability.
Me neither.
So Estelle, what have you been getting up to?
Estelle has been. Well, I feel like there's been a lot of like, is this the way to the tournament? And like sneaking around. Because, nothing takes people off their guards like an old granny. And Estelle also has the gift of all of her family looks like her. So she's just NPCing her way around this this entire area. Every once in a while, just putting on a different hat or bow. Or who is that? Somebody in the East family. We're not sure. Yeah. Other than that, she's been encouraging. I mean, like, depending on how much time has passed, I'm
gonna say we're into about like, let's say like the first like day or so.
Okay, then yeah, she has just been continuing to do that. If the professor happened to have a small hidden camera, she may or may not also have that on her. Just in case she stumbles into any areas.
Okay. Yeah, sure, we can probably make that work.
Yeah. So, other than that, Estelle's just been ushered out about a bunch of times from places she shouldn't be, and has been looking into the other teams and everything around the tournament, and just maybe trying to figure out if maybe Sylph goes waving jazz hands over here and doing something over there. So that's me. We can do some rolls about it if you want, but I don't really have firm plans about it. I was just gonna, dive out of the way the next time you sent murder surgeons at me.
Yeah, so I think what has happened is while you are sort of looking for mischief opportunities, as it were, not necessarily looking to execute a specific mischief, but just kind of letting the universe bring the mischief to you.
Yeah, I'm just, riding the winds of chaos, seeing where they end me up.
No. And it is, I think, as you are sort of being ushered out of one of the buildings. Ushered is a strong term. They are escorting a lost old lady back to the tournament.
Yep.
That you see sort of from a doorway nearby, just a little bit out of sight of these security guards who just escorted you out. You see Charlie Geller sort of kind of gesturing at you.
I will go, I see where I am, and I'll just wander away. As long as I'm in a hallway that I'm allowed to be in, I feel like they'll let me.
Yeah.
It just gets turned around. It's so big in here. And I'm like muttering to myself as I wander away. And then I'm going to pass where Charlie was. And then if I'll do a double check to make sure the guards aren't watching me. And then go back to him and be like, what's up?
Okay. So I have been kind of poking around a little bit, and I think that I might have found something. I have found, actually, I've gotten access to the main server room. And
What's a server?
Oh, right. The professor told me about your various tech support conversations.
Oh, it's a
okay.
technology. Okay, all right. So
Okay,
there's going to be a Pokemon inside of it. Yes, I understand what's happening.
I do not know if that is going to be the case. I don't know that it's not going to be the case.
Historically, that's been pretty true.
It is. I looked inside of one, and inside of the computer is a Pokemon.
You know, I cannot say with 100% certainty that won't turn out to be the case. But it's okay. I can probably walk you through it. But the important thing is that I think that if Silphco has retained any potentially incriminating records about everything that went wrong with the champion balls and the missing numbers, I think it's probably in there. Whatever else you would want to do with the servers afterward, I don't know. I'm not your dad. But I think if you're looking for anything that isn't in the public record, anything they want to keep quiet, I think it's probably going to be in those servers, if it's anywhere.
How very dare. Are you seeing what's happening in the chat? It's going to be in a labeled folder saying, Estelle, do not read.
No easts allowed. Go away.
Go away.
Now, normally these
I find it's generally in something labeled classified or, fragile. It's often, yeah.
Now, normally the server room is locked down tight, but at this point, with all the hullabaloo with the tournament, and also the fact that it seems like since everyone got back from the place, it's been a bit chaotic in terms of staffing and personnel. So I think I have found us a way in, but the window's closing fast. One of the security guards, the one they currently have posted up there, has currently fucked off to go watch the tournament. Admittedly, I do not know if he's planning on returning to his post anytime soon. I don't get the impression that he is, but I do not know for a fact that he's not going to. So if we want to go, we should do it now.
All right, let's get going then. Is it all right if I bring my Pokemon?
Yeah, no, sure.
Good. They'll probably help keep the Pokemon inside the computer calm. I find that Pokemon, are good at keeping each other, convinced of what's going on, and it helps when you're meeting a new Pokemon. Which way are we going?
Am not going to disagree. I've learned better. So head over to this service elevator, and you guys go up further up into this Silphco R&D building than you have previously gotten. Charlie had to swipe his key card to get the elevator to reach this floor. Ooh. Now, very, very probably, they're probably going to, if something happens, they're probably going to figure out that it was my key card to swipe to get up here when I wasn't supposed to be up here. But look, as long as that last paycheck clears, I don't super care at this point.
Well, we'll talk to the Pokemon and maybe they can erase all of that. We'll see. And she just waddles off of the elevator.
And you reach this top floor, and you are sort of peering out into the aggressively teal hallways. And Charlie starts to motion both of you down towards the door labeled server room. But momentarily, you hear a creaking on the floor coming down the hallway towards you.
Ooh.
Heavy footsteps.
Alrighty. Trying to think if I have anything that could make us invisible. I don't.
No, you know what? Okay. To what? Okay, I can distract him. You go to the server room. I will run interference with the guards.
Which one's the server room?
The one that says server room on it.
And what does the server look like?
It looks like a bunch of computers.
All right. And she just walks. Like little fast-paced walk with Mr. Mom following behind her.
walking with purpose, as Charlie then starts sort of jogging down the other way. You hear him as you start to get up to the server room. You hear him sort of distantly say, "Whoa, hey, oh, didn't realize anybody else was on shift today. Hey guys, what's up? You catch those thrilling Pokemon battles?" You are fans of sport, are you not? Me too. What a crazy coincidence! As you sort of slip into the server room.
Gotcha. Okay. What do I see when I go into the server room?
The first thing that actually immediately strikes you is how cold it is in here. Like, they have the AC cranked up to 11, and you're not super surprised by this, because you notice that it seems like that the various towers that they have in here are running quite hot. But
yeah.
The main thing that you see is a large number of these like 6 foot tall racks that contain an assortment of computer towers, and every so often there is a terminal with a screen and keypad for user access.
So they're all password protected, is what you're saying. Well, okay, so I guess I will, are there any convenient and horrible security operation notes where somebody has put their password on a sticky note in front of their terminal? Don't do that. Don't do that, anyone.
Go ahead and give me a tactics roll.
Excellent. Let's do that. My tactics. All right, cool. Beep. That is a 4.
Well, that will still just get it over the line. So you are. There are some desks also along the side of the room with their own terminals, and you are going through several of them, and there is at least one that it looks like the employee in question was either let go or they quit, and at this point no one has yet cleaned out their desk, and their desk was left unlocked when they left. And in it, you do find a notepad that has a number of largely just scribbled meeting notes, things that probably could have been emails. But on one of the pages, that it actually does say, yes, you can see an indentation on the page. The page before it was torn out. But you can still see the indentation on the paper where someone wrote password : and then a series of letters and symbols.
Cool. I'm gonna type that in.
And
No, it's the word password :
I don't.
157.
You know, I forgot no pain was in. I forgot that no fame was in the chat tonight. And I feel like I've already committed a grave error.
You can't write colon in leet speak. Stop it. It's not a thing anymore.
And not with that attitude.
No, that's his name, Colin.
All right.
Yes, you type it in, and indeed, you do have access to the server.
Right. And she like takes her glasses, her reading glasses, bifocal things, out of her side pocket and puts them on, and she's staring at the screen, and the mouse is moving really slowly. She tries to like, what's this folder? She double clicks. She's like, no, that's someone's vacation photos. Those shouldn't be on there. You shouldn't leave that on work computers. All right, where's the Pokemon? No, okay, so is this a this is a command interface? Because if so, we're all fucked.
No, it's running the latest
Control F. Pokemon.
Yeah, it's running the latest Rotom OS.
All right, let's search around. I guess if there's a search bar, she'll type in Mega Balls, but it's not. I don't.
Mega Balls.
We can do a tactics roll, but I mean, Estelle is an ancient woman who likes to garden and make cookies and sow chaos. So
it is at that point that you actually hear a voice calling from over your shoulder. I'm assuming what you're going to be looking for is probably going to be in the directory labeled incredibly secret information that we don't want anyone to know.
Oh, good. Yes, that seems like something that would be. She takes her glasses down, and so she's looking underneath it, like over top of her bifocals, like, who is it?
This is someone you've seen only briefly before. You saw them in the back of the limousine that Director Teal got into.
Ah. That would certainly be helpful, but
they are a youngish man wearing sort of a white overcoat and with a shock of very like white silvery hair.
So classic villain look is what I'm hearing.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm hearing anime villain with spiky hairs
in a Pokemon game.
In a Pokemon game,
I do not know why you would. I don't know why you would go to that as a reference of all things.
I'm going to put Dottler down on the keyboard and just be like, keep looking, and then I'm going to turn to this guy.
Not Mr. Vine.
Not Mr. Dottler. Dottler's got all the little like buggy things. That's probably going to work on a keyboard. We can handle this.
Dollar's been taking typing classes at the local senior center.
Dottler is a pretty smart bug, okay?
He got a certificate.
Yeah. Dottler's telepathic. They can see the future. Come on. Like, I'm sure Dottler can figure this out. If only by, Future Sight. Just spam Future Sight until you get it, guy.
I felt like it was probably only a matter of time before you found your way up here.
Well, yes, when you do experiments that almost end the world and threaten the entire island, and generally someone is going to eventually come poking. Isn't that the darndest thing?
I suppose You don't need future sight to be able to suss that one out.
Yes, it's really rather sad that you didn't think things through.
Well, I personally wasn't involved in any of the experiments. I'm just a trainer. I just work at the battle tower.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the people who did the experiments do pay me very well to run that battle tower. And as such, I would consider it a personal favor, Estelle, if you were to just leave it alone.
Oh, dear.
Walk away. Try living your life.
Oh. Darling, I don't know how much you know about me, but this is actually what I do with my life.
I didn't think that had a high likelihood of success, though I held out some hope.
It's sweet of you, but no.
I know more about you than you think. You probably don't remember me very well. I only trained with your husband for a short while.
Oh, did Ephraim bring you home then?
In a manner of speaking. I didn't stay long, though. Frankly, not only was the pay better at Silphco, but frankly, I found Ephraim's approach to psionics to be a little too empathetic for my tastes. Too people-y.
This isn't the guy that trained the Jinx, right?
No, this is not.
Because if so, I'm just gonna stop talking and attack.
No.
Too people-y. Well, the real value in psychic communication is that second word. It's the communication. So it really does help if we're trying to understand the other person and really working on shared meaning.
See, that's always been the problem for me. I do the understanding bit pretty well. It's just that I find that the more I understand people, the less I like them. And the less I feel terribly inclined to give much of a crap about them.
Well, yes, I can see why the empathetic approach didn't work for you.
Well, I didn't imagine it was going to be that easy. And
well, I'm glad you found a methodology that works for you, but we should really should probably get on with it, shouldn't we, dear?
I imagine that we probably should. For what it's worth, Estelle, I am sorry. When you see Ephraim, tell him that Yuri sent you. And he will begin reaching for one of his Pokeballs.
That's cool. Let's roll, I guess.
And he throws out a Pokeball, the light coalescing into a jaunty, vaguely humanoid shape. Doffing a cap and twirling a little cane of crystalline ice. Mime, meet rhyme. Whoever wins, we lose.
Whichever way it goes, horror.
That's interesting, because I'm pretty sure specifically Estelle's Mr. Mime is very well set up to beat Mr. Rhyme.
He's literally trained for this day.
Yeah, uniquely suited for this particular fight.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Hold on. Are we rolling or?
Yes.
All right.
Let's go ahead and roll off.
And
Well,
Ooh.
well,
Do we
Are these
roll
ones
again?
or sevens?
well.
It's ones.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's roll again.
Well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we got there. We got there.
We did. All right, so I guess oh gosh. Sorry, hold on. My sheet, pulled out the wrong one. I pulled up the old one. All right, so do I need to roll to know that this is an ice type Pokemon?
His stick is made of ice, and he has
okay,
ice
like,
shoes.
Yeah, his
Okay.
stick is made of ice. His
Cool.
name is Mr. Rhyme.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then
Oh,
I
I
think
just got that.
He's
Yeah.
Mr. Icicle, he's Mr. Snow, but
so I think what we're gonna do is Estelle's going to go, oh dear, that is just so unfortunate for you. And Mr. Mime's gonna step forward from the shadows where he was just lurking with fists already flaming. And I'm going to do Fire Punch. Let's do this.
I'm sorry, something about the mental image of the dapper
Tactics.
gentleman getting ready to face down with the cage fighter with burning hands is doing something for me.
All right, that is a 13.
okay. And that, let's see, because it still does a 10. Yes, that will still. You're shooting for a toughness of 6 on the Mr. Rhyme.
Okay, cool.
But a 13 will still crit.
Nice. So then we're gonna just do extra damage
Okay.
with them crittens, because it's just a chance of a burn. I don't think that will
Wait.
have any additional effect, right?
Did you add your +2?
Did not know. So that is
Fire
a
on
15.
ice.
That's a 15.
Okay. It's still regular. It's still only a regular crit, but
Ah, boo.
Because it's a 6. So I'm subtracting. Yeah. So
all right. So what does that look like?
So what it looks like is, as stated, like Mr. Mime steps out of the shadows and the flames like light up his face, and he's smiling. And he just out of nowhere just sucker punches straight into the Mr. Rhyme, who gets that nice, lovely cheek burned look from the punch,
Mhm.
and is maybe melting a little bit because his ear floofs might have caught on fire.
Mhm.
So yeah. When you're a jet. Alright.
And at that point, the Mr. Rhyme is going to sort of twirls its cane around, does a little sort of slippery tap dance on an icy surface that you cannot see, and once it has completed its little Fosse routine, it just literally does jazz hands, and its entire surface seems to glisten.
I feel like maybe you're not thinking this through. Are you attacking, or is this just
That was the effect.
All right.
That it used.
Let's go ahead and roll off again, I guess.
Yep.
Bonk. Oh, nice.
All right.
I'll just hit that again. Why? Just because it explodes and I want to see what it does. There you go. 15 total. All right. Then, yes, she's gonna be like, well, that just doesn't seem like you're thinking that through, dear. Go ahead and hit him again, Mr. Mime.
Or actually, just let me see. Is that the last one?
This. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up the triggering of that. So
Oh, okay. No worries.
I apologize. The used mirror coat on itself, which I thought was something that then triggered the next time it was hit, but it actually then acts on the damage that was just dealt to it prior to the move being used.
So it removes the 2 wounds.
No, it doesn't remove the 2 wounds. It does 1.5 times the damage back to the Pokemon that did it. The Mr. Rhyme still takes the damage. It took 2, but it in turn dealt 3 to Mr. Mime.
Okay, so you're getting through a 5 toughness.
Yes.
Okay. How many is that? That's 2 or 1? No. He did 3?
3, yeah.
So you would take the 3 wounds.
Okay. Then I'm going to scream in horror.
Do you need to use a luck point?
I do actually, unfortunately. I'm going to have to use a luck point. How is that working with this? Is it making you reroll or is it just negate it?
You can negate the hit, so.
Yeah, I think we want to do that. And sorry about that luck point because we only have 2. But if we lose Mr. Mime, we've just got Dottler.
You have Haunter.
Do I have Haunter?
Should have Haunter.
Yeah, you have Haunter with you.
Okay, alright, cool. You never know. Haunter's just invisible, hanging out. You don't know until he starts chuckling. Okay, so that I've negated that hit.
Yes.
Which was just me getting lucky, and there was a little bit of water on the floor, and Mr. Mime does the pratfall like he's in a silent movie.
It is a very strange looking fight. It almost looks like they are having a slap fight, but it is like they're playing to a non-existent crowd with their slapstick, but they are both getting really roughed up. It is some intense physical comedy.
Yeah. All right, let's Estelle's actually giggling because she doesn't realize Mr. Mime almost died. Thank the luck. Wow. Okay. So has it taken damage at all, or did it just take that and reflect it back at me?
Yeah, so it still took the damage.
So it still took the 2 damage. Okay.
Yeah, it still took the 2 damage.
Okay.
It just gets to deal 1.5 damage back in revenge.
Okay. All right. So do we want to roll off again?
No, I just wanted to. We can still go off the initiative that we rolled for that next round. I just realized that
what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I had mistimed it.
Cool. All right. Then basically Mr. Mime gets back up from their pratfall, they fall on their back, and they're just laying there for a second, and everybody's just like, what the? And then they just jump up at Mr. Rhyme's face with that flaming fist from a prone position. Just
okay.
It's all one move. Roll. Cool. Eat. Plus 2, so 10.
10. Okay. It won't quite crit, but it does hit.
Yeah. The previous one I had that we did not save crit.
Why did that say 11 on the side? Was that a 9, not a 6?
Yeah, it was a 9, not a 6. Sorry.
So
that is
okay.
13.
That is 13.
It is 13. Okay, so that will crit.
Sorry, it's really great because the dice themselves don't always have clear text or things like that. But then we have the panel on the side that tells us.
Same thing with the
1 or 7. Yeah.
All right, so you did crit with that second fire punch.
It helps that Estelle has a great tactics now.
Yeah, it's true.
All I've put into. All right, so then she's just gonna do additional damage and see if she can't take this thing out, because I don't want to get hit with that mirror coat thing again.
Okay.
Sounds like a bad idea.
What does that attack look like for Mr. Mime?
Like I said, he fell and he was just landing there, and then all of a sudden it's just, and because it's out of nowhere and wasn't suspected because Mr. Mime was laying on his back, who thought he was going to attack from that position, he manages to get in a 1-2, which is representing that nice crit.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mr. Rhyme just flies across the room.
Yeah, Mr. Rhyme sort of like skids to a halt. Its overcoat smoldering, and it sort of lies there for a long time. And for a moment, you think that it is fainted until you see a little tiny flower made of ice that it sort of just kind of like holds up over its prone chest, and then kind of like barely just sort of squintingly like opens one eye, kind of like looking around, seeing if anybody's buying it.
So it's playing dead. Does this thing have more than 3 wounds available?
It does.
I got 4 on it. How many does this have? All right, I guess we should roll.
Well, it has not gone yet.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry. It's still up. So
Stupid
yeah.
high for it.
And it.
I hate that.
And it looks around, seeing that there are no takers for its terrible bit. Its bit received a chilly reception, if you will. It sort of flips back to its feet before sort of it is returned to Yuri's Pokeball, but not before its body sort of like dissolves into this blizzard of snow that fills the room. Lowering the temperature even further. You can see frost forming on the edges of the server racks all around you.
How has Dollar been doing with
Dottler is frantically Dottler is frantically hacking the planet.
Yeah, all right, great.
Also, when you look over with the snow, now Dottler out of nowhere somehow has a scarf, earmuffs, and little gloves as it types away on the keyboard.
100%.
1 million tiny gloves.
Yeah.
You are just like little booties. They're not even gloves. They're just little like, yeah.
And the Pokemon that then enters this winter wonderland.
Why do you hate me?
Is this large, almost like skeletal sphere with, that right there. Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, what the heck is that?
I like how the ice specialist is like, I'm gonna go fight the old lady who has no fire Pokemon. I'm not gonna pick a fight with the other two.
Thank God.
All right. Well, let's roll off for next round.
All right. Can I actually roll to identify what that is?
You have a pretty decent idea that this is a Mega Glalie.
Mega Glalie.
Yep.
Oh God. Mega Glalie. Mama. Okay. Ooh, we're rolling off.
Mm-hmm.
Roll. Hey, that's a 6 this time, I think, right? No, it's a 9. It's a 9.
Oh, it is a 9. All right.
Yep.
All right, getting the good initiative rolls.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, since this is another, ice Pokemon, We're just gonna go, all right. I suppose this is just what we're doing then today. Go ahead, Mr. Mime. Toddler, keep going. Like, doop. That is 2.
Ooh.
Ho, 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 ho.
4. Technically
the-
4.
It is technically 4. So is that a wait? What's the success range? Because I don't know what this one. It's probably different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So normally the normal baseline toughness for Pokemon is 4. In this case, no. This Pokemon does have higher base toughness and also is getting a +2 from the snowy weather.
Nice. Gotcha. So I think what happens is Mr. Mime, with all that water and that ice that came around, the ground has refrozen again. And Mr. Mime once again does the banana slip. Whoop. So
and Yuri sort of chuckles a little bit.
Brendan,
Mm-hmm.
is this Yuri standing on ice?
I don't know why you would think that would be the case.
Shame on you. Now you're just pandering.
I mean, so now I know what his hair looks like. All
right. So what is Mr. Mime's toughness?
Oh, it is a 5.
It is a 5. Okay.
Yes.
So even with the plus, so wait. So it'd be +1. So yes, +2 for ghost type. So 11. So 11 would still crit.
Yes.
As
I don't like that.
as the Mega Glalie inhales this gust of cold air, but what emerges from its mouth is not air. It is this torrent of pure shadow, this sort of rolling sphere or ball of shadow from the deepest pits of its frozen soul that knocks over Mr. Mime like so many bowling pins for 2 wounds.
Ooh, I don't like it. All right, cool. I hate that. But here we are. Oh, we roll it off again.
Yep.
All right. Boop. Rolling. 5 and 4. Hey, win again.
All right.
So I think
your best shot.
Let's not banana peel again. Like, she's like, all right, Mr. Mime, that looked like it hurt quite a bit, but don't worry, get on up. We'll that is a 12 plus the 2 for against ice, so that's 14.
Yeah, 14. Okay, so that's a 14. Okay, yeah, no, a 14 will still crit with its higher toughness.
Okay. And then that is going to be 2 wounds, because we're going to do extra damage, unless we can do something that makes him catch on fire. Don't think we can. Don't think that's a thing.
You could inflict the burn condition, which would cause it to take penalties to its rolls. But it's up to you if you want to do that or not.
I don't think the penalty would be big enough to help me in this situation. Because we've got a frozen room and all that. So
yeah, late game damage seems just much more beneficial than penalties.
Ooh, yeah, it's like, we just got to end this quick. Let's do this. I have dogs wrestling in the background, so it's very thematic. Oh, I
I
should
like to
roll off.
imagine Mr. Mime miming strapping on like ice skates before that attack to navigate the frost better.
Okay, okay, so I wasn't seeing. Okay, so that was a 7 and a 1, but they genuinely looked identical.
Yeah.
They genuinely looked like the same number. I was very confused. As the glalie once again inhales the air around it, but rather than this torrent of shadow, it fills the room with this intense cold, almost like it is loosing this cloud of it's like mist, I should say, of like liquid nitrogen that is flash freezing everything in the room, frost covering everything. Mr. Mime takes 1 wound.
Ooh, so then Mr. Mime has fainted.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even you, Estelle, are
Starting to feel it because he still has a 1.
yeah, and you are you're feeling this cold in your bones. You are feeling every one of your years as probably your most faithful Pokemon has fainted, and you are still staring down this creature. This is what you are, Estelle. You're frozen. You're frozen in grief.
You know, I'm getting very tired of everyone trying to give me therapy when no one's licensed to do that. Haunter!
All right. Let's roll off.
Ironically calling a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. Oh, God. Tactics. It's a 9.
I feel like this is the law of large numbers coming back to me after all of my rolls last session.
I mean, got a pretty strong guy here. Okay, so we're gonna go with Jesus. I'm in the wrong screen. We're gonna go with Dark Pulse because why not? Doop and doop. Estelle's gonna say Haunter, Dark Pulse. And we're gonna hit this, which is a 12. How did I only roll 12 when I rolled 2d12s? Should I lock them away like this, Haunter? Yes,
All right.
that is exactly it.
It does hit, but it does not crit.
A 12 doesn't crit?
Nope. The Mega Glalie is currently operating at a toughness of 8.
Yeah, you need a 14 to crit.
Holy Hannah Montana. All right.
He's working off of a base 6, and the snowy weather is currently giving him a +2.
Ouch. Okay, so yeah, then I'm going to hit for that 1 wound, and then you're going to hit me back probably real hard.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how well how well the dice like me.
The dices. They like you.
Yeah. As the Mega Glalie looses another one of these freeze dry attacks, and you can feel your skin starting to crack and peel. You almost feel like you might be experiencing some early stages of hypothermia. And Haunter in the process also takes 2 wounds.
Oof. What did he roll for that? Sorry. 22. Cool. All right.
Just
gonna be real quick.
You're running out the clock, Estelle, is what you're doing.
Oh no, dear. I'm buying time. And then she
I didn't mean this. No, I meant in your life. Like I said, understanding people isn't the hard part. You're just running out the clock. You're hoping that you'll die before ever having to face the reality of your life without your gym, without your husband, without your crusades.
You realize I've rebuilt a gym, pseudo-adopted two wonderful boys. They're amazing. Helped save this island. And you're saying that I'm running out the clock? What do you do with your day? She's just gonna say, Haunter, Dark Balls. Oh, wait, no, we have to roll off. What am I doing? Oh, well, too bad that was a 17. Roll off. 7. Okay, cool.
I will let you keep the 17.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'll let you keep the 17.
Oh, you're so nice. Maybe you don't like what I'm doing with my life. And Haunter just comes out and, like, out of the shadows, the dark pulse of energy knocks everybody back. And maybe you think it's not worthwhile, but that doesn't mean I'm not living. If I had stopped living, I would have been hiding in that house and never gotten involved with any of this. And if you aren't willing to fight for the things that matter to you, then I'm very sorry for you, son. But that's not who I am. Boop. And I've just imagined Dark Pulse at that point hits him and knocks him over a little bit.
Yep. And at this point, the Glalie is basically sort of like crushed by this typhoon of dark energy, and it is fainted.
Oh, okay, nice. How's that guy look? Is he starting to look not so chilly? Not so smooth? His hair's not quite anime perfect anymore?
It is hard to read him as he returns Glalie to his Pokeball and sends Mr. Rhyme back out.
Hate that. Oh. Do. Are we rolling off?
Yep.
Okay. That's a 9.
All right.
So once again, we are going to do Dark Pulse, because why mess with something that's working? And I want none of that guy. So that is a 10. It's not going to be a crit, but we'll get one.
12?
Well, it's not.
It's psychic.
Versus dark. Yeah.
It's psychic versus. Oh, I thought this guy was just pure ice. I didn't think he was psychic.
We're back to the rhyme.
So we're back to the Mr. Rhyme.
Right. The image didn't change, and my brain didn't update either. So fine.
So that would make a 12. 12 unfortunately will not crit because Mr. Rhyme is still getting the benefit of the snowy weather.
That's fine.
But it is still a damage.
So he has had 5 damage now.
He has had 5 damage now.
What is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
I am.
He's just a hungry little guy.
No,
he's just a glutton for punishment.
He's just a little guy,
a little guy
that sort of vanishes under the surface of this typhoon of darkness, rising up, dripping with this shadowy ichor behind Haunter before impaling Haunter's ectoplasmic body with his icy cane. His very reflective mirror-coated icy cane for 2 wounds.
So I am going to use that last point. Sorry, guys. Dottler and I cannot house this thing. And I'm going to negate that wound and just hope I can get him in this next round, because holy shit. Excuse me.
All right, let's roll off.
Oh, God. Hi, puppy. Are you rooting for me?
Yeah, just
is always rooting for you.
Rip it, baby.
I'm refilling it with one since I used both of them. And I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use it. It's for you guys. So, or you both. So, oh gosh. All right, roll off. Nope. It is for the tournament because y'all going to need it. So we roll again.
Yep.
Nice. The dice like me today.
Yeah, it's true.
Sometimes. Let's see. I know. We're almost done, baby. It's okay. That is not. Well, okay. So yeah, +2. So that's 13.
It doesn't quite crit, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that is 6 wounds.
Yeah. So what does that look like?
This is Dark Pulse. So basically, every time this thing has gotten closer, because it's almost like that ice, I think, is sort of, empowering this thing, the iciness of the room. Every time it's stepped closer to Estelle with its trainer, Dark Pulse has shot out to push it back. And Mr. Mime's laying on the floor with Estelle, like Estelle's right by him. And Haunter's just like, like the claws out, just Haunter and Dark Pulsing, repeatedly trying to desperately keep these attackers back from Estelle and Mr. Mime and Dottler tapping away on that keyboard.
All right. Well, let's okay, so that was 1 wound, and then so he's at 6 wounds, and so
that's so many wounds.
That's such a big number. 21.
God damn it, Brendan.
+2. That is
Me
definitely
scouring the
like a
book to
double.
find where the 6-7 wounds exploit is.
Yeah, why did I get that? Well,
as
y'all ready to have me as a hostage again?
as the Mr. Rhyme pulls in all of this snow towards it, along with sort of the residual blackness from Haunter's Dark Pulse, sort of forming each of these into a barrage of black ice that buffets Haunter in this black blizzard for 2 wounds.
Okay, so Haunter is down.
Okay.
So you could spend that luck that you put in there.
I put in there for you all,
Okay.
and like you guys have the tournament coming up. You're gonna need them. I already used 2. I can't hit 3rd.
And at this point, Dottler has already sort of hopped down from the desk in front of you, trying its level best to try and position itself physically between you and the Mr. Rhyme.
So roll off.
Yeah. Though I will say at this point, after this attack, at the end of this round, the temperature does
Start to warm up.
rise a little bit. The snowy weather appears to have dissipated.
Like maybe it's used.
You've done admirably, Estelle. Again, We don't have to do this.
Oh no, I definitely think we do. She's gonna call out Strugglebug to Dottler. Still don't give up.
I was rolling off her initiative.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry. You win this time.
Mm.
Just not good news, everyone. We're not happy about that. Dottler, baby, please.
You say that you're not running out the clock, Estelle, but riddle me this. If that's the case, why hasn't your little Dottler evolved yet? And Mr. Rhyme is going to...
Trying to do psychic damage to me and my Pokemon, Brendan. Oh. Okay.
As the in this case, the Mr. Rhyme actually sort of conjures a haze in the air in front of it that coalesces into a reflective barrier between Mr. Rhyme and Dottler.
So barrier implies that there's going to be defensiveness, but let's go ahead and do... Can Leech Life be used to heal my other Pokemon? Or is it only used for
Only
Dottler?
yourself.
All right, then I'm going to go ahead and do yeah, I'll do Strugglebug. Because it's the best one for Dottler. Unfortunately. Oof.
Ooh, that
That's nice.
it
That aces too.
yeah.
Yep. Reroll that 12.
All right. Doop. 19 plus.
Hell yeah. Is that 30?
That's 32 because it's a bug
30
move.
is about 32, which let me crunch the math here. So that is a that is so yeah, 14 and 32. Yeah, wow. That is a triple crit.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to tell us how that looks, or if there's any on a triple crit, if there's anything like special that happens with Dottler.
So I think when he said that about Dottler not evolving, he still gets all beady-eyed at him, and Dottler, it's almost like his have you ever seen the fur go up on a dog? Like, well, this is almost like the wings and the carapace go up on Dottler. Like, what the hell did you just say to me? And then Dottler just flings out with a struggle bug that breaks all the ice in the room and flings all the opponents just around. Like it's almost like somebody picked them up and shook them rather than the normal like struggle bug just shoots out in a wave. No. It grabbed a hold of you and went like, so I think that is Dottler, how dare Dottler said.
Yeah. And with that struggling shakes the entire room. Pieces of the air conditioning and the ventilation are collapsing all around you. The Mr. Rhyme has fainted.
Great.
And
does it have a third Pokemon?
Yuri returns to survive to his Pokeball, and Yuri sort of just starts kind of like backing away from you with the pieces of the ventilation sort of collapsing in the room. Several of them are knocking over server towers. The struggle bug is actually causing several of the server racks to literally just vibrate to pieces. So downside, there's kind of a classic good news, bad news situation. Bad news, I don't think you're going to be able to get the data that you were looking for. The good news is this server is completely fucked.
I mean, that's not really what I was looking for, but the guy is scared though, so that's great.
So essentially, you were not going to be able to find the evidence that you were looking for, at least not in this server. On the other hand, though, this is apparently a pretty important server for the Silphco operations on the island that is now like literally physically destroyed.
Yeah.
That probably is going to impact their ability to do business.
So this, I mean, that's good news, obviously. Okay, and she just comes up and like, you know, pets Dottler and hefts him back on like the backpack, and for once actually does put Mr. Mime and Haunter in their Pokeballs. And then she's going to look like just march straight past the guy and just look at him and just be like, "Have a great day, son." Like, I'll be sure to remember you. And she pats his arm. Just walks out while the server room collapses in on itself.
Yuri just sort of mutters to himself, alone in the room. I wonder if it's too late to get a ferry to the mainland before everyone finds out about this.
And then she's gonna, like, as soon as she's out of view of this guy, she's gonna go, "Oh my god." Just like collapse, like, "Oh, that was so close. Oh no."
I imagine Dottler doing the exact same reaction next to you.
Dottler like almost like flops off of her, like, because Dottler's usually holding on, and she's just like,
Estelle and Dottler doing the Rick and Morty in the car. That was not okay. I was not in control of that situation.
At any point was I in control of that situation? No.
And at that point, that you kind of get out the hallway and claps that Charlie finally runs up to you and is like, "Estelle, oh my gosh, are you okay? What is going on in the we should go. Oh, okay, we should go right now. Now is the time we should be going."
Yes.
Actually, and as they make their swift exit from the building, before their mayhem is properly discovered, we are going to take a little 10-minute break.
Oh, that was one hit away.
Yeah, like unless I am like eating while I'm watching it, like I can't follow these shows because it will, even if I've already eaten, it will make me hungry again. If I haven't eaten, it'll make me hungry. If I have already eaten, it will make me hungry again. So the only way that I can watch any of these food wars or like very like food centric shows is if I am physically eating already while I am watching, so that while I am getting hungry in real time, I can eat. With Food Wars, I actually had an ace friend who told me I finally understand the way people talk about sex because of Food Wars, because that's how I feel about food. And I was like, I love that. Because they do talk a lot about the joy of food in that anime for those who have never watched it. I feel like I heard a story about you were watching a scene that was like talking very, very much like in a very like sensual way about food. And Andy walked in with his parents.
So Andy and I were watching it because he was like, "I'll give it a shot. Will recommended it." And I had already watched like 3 episodes, so I thought it was hilarious. And he's sitting there watching with me on, I'm spending my relationship credit to get him to watch the show. And in walks his parents. And anybody who has not seen Food Wars, there are some very fan servicey, suggestive
Which I did warn you about.
experiences. Yes, you did.
Which
yes,
I did warn you about.
But his parents weren't home when we started watching it. This was during a time when his family was staying with us because they were between houses. And that traumatized him. And I didn't even stop the show. I was so busy laughing at him.
I had that happen. I had that happen to me once when I walked in and my dad was watching Watchmen. And I was like, "Oh, Watchmen, yeah, I'll watch Watchmen." And I sat down, and then as it got closer to the Hallelujah scene, I was like, "Oh no, I've miscalculated."
Oh no,
I have made a mistake.
I have made such an error right now.
I was like, "Well, I can't get up and leave now because then I'm acknowledging it."
The only way out is through.
So we just watched it in stony silence.
I came from that awkward household where when anything violent or sexual happened on a screen, my mom would have a talk with us. Like, well, what do you think about that? And I'd be like, well, I wouldn't really appreciate it if a guy smacked me like that during whatever, whatever the conversation was. And that's just kills the shame in you because you've so got so much discomfort that it just goes through the discomfort storm, through the eye of the discomfort storm.
I think you were
out the other side.
I think you were dramatically underestimating how awkward I could be.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm like, don't challenge my anxiety like that. It will win.
No.
Suffice it to say, no lessons were learned.
No lessons were learned ever. Yeah. It is more awkward with my dad, though, so fair enough.
So, at this point, we are moving in through the next couple of days of the tournament. There has been no official announcement regarding, at least any news stories about the incident in the server room.
You want to roll tactics with me and see if Haunter disabled all of the cameras?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah,
Let's do it.
roll for Ghost in the Machine.
Oh, that's an 11.
All right. That ghost is all up in that machine, all up in them circuits.
That's why we have a canon explanation. Haunter said no cameras.
Every time Estelle's face would be revealed on a camera, Haunter just shows up and spooks the person on it.
Okay, here I was gonna say that every time that like Estelle turned to face the camera, Haunter made it look like so her face was just like Haunter's face, like tongue and all, which is both so much better and also so much worse.
No one could recognize me by a very distinctive and horrifying Pokemon.
But so there's not been any sort of announcement about it, though it does seem as though the intensity and fervor of the hype for the tournament is going up noticeably, reaching an almost fever pitch, almost as if suddenly Silphco really needs this to go well.
For them.
Really need it. We need this W, guys.
We need the win.
So, over the next couple days of the tournament, you guys have been advancing through the rounds. Both Billy and Julian just want to give us a kind of a quick recap of just give us some little snippets or tableaus of like battles that you have had through this tournament thus far.
I think for Julian, it's been very quick. Like he's almost solely used Brunoise, and he would have used Brunoise for Kaz as well, except for the showdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that like all of the buzz and the conversations around Julian are based on the fact that he's kind of been like one-shotting everybody with Zen Headbutt, the supercharged Zen Headbutt that Brunoise does.
It is a pretty wild and vaguely OP move.
I think for Billy, it's been like all of his Pokemon have gotten like turns. So there's like different shots you see of like Tum Tum doing its like trademark play rough, just like pummeling Pokemon. There's like a shot of like the crowd all like hunched over holding their ears because it's the round where like Ling Ling took center stage and was just being loud as all hell over the speakers. There's like, shots of Shiloh teleporting around, like knocking different Pokemon around using like teleport. And then there's also the moment where there had to be a brief intermission for them to bring out like lawnmowers and clean all the grass off the stage from like Astro doing the thing it did in the underground arena where it like healed so much it like grew grass up through the ground again. Like I think that happened in at least one fight, and they had to like pause and clean off the arena before the next fight.
Lawnmowers out there just.
And I think you guys are currently sort of sidled up, watching one of the battles live. You have mostly been watching them, not following them super closely through the monitors. This one, though, you wanted to watch up close. And currently, Karen Grabbins is getting her ass handed to her by another trainer. It is incredibly satisfying to watch. The only thing that does give you a moment's pause, Julian, is that the trainer that is doing it appears to be, you're pretty sure that this is the trainer with the hoodie who was watching you from the other side of the crowd when you first got here.
Are they still wearing? I mean, I assume they're still wearing the hoodie.
They are still wearing the hoodie and a ball cap, and not really looking directly at the cameras, seemingly whenever they can help it.
If Julian moves around the like arena, basically, can you try to find an angle to get a look at this person?
Yeah, I think you could roll tactics, to see if you can kind of try to outsmart, or at the very least maybe like when they're trying to like look away from the camera, position yourself so that they're looking at you, so you can get a good look at their face.
It's a 5.
They are doing a pretty good job, at least as good as they can, given the fact that it is a very public event that they are at. And you think that it would be a little tough to recognize them, given how much they are concealing their face, if it were not for the fact that you know this face so well. I'm guessing from your expression you probably have like at least a wild guess to who this is.
I do. Do I recognize the Pokemon that they're using?
So at least 2 of the Pokemon you don't recognize, but one of the Pokemon is a Honchkrow.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Julian will just try to position himself by where this mysterious figure is likely to exit the arena when the fight is over.
Okay. And sure enough, as Julianne turns away, or as she is she's credited as Jane Ekis, as that is the name that she has entered the tournament under. But as she's turning away contemptuously from Karen Grabbins, who is having to be dragged away by security because it looked like she was about to just like run across the arena and start throwing hands with Julie. And Julie just sort of is just trotting down the stairs.
Yeah, I think as she like sort of passes Julian, he'll say to her back, basically, easy match.
Well, I mean, you beat her. How tough could she be?
So what's with the disguise?
I mean, I feel like using my name might cause some problems. What with that whole being wanted by the Jennies thing. Not to mention half of Team Rocket.
So what brings you here then?
Desperation, maybe? Trying to get a little piece of my own back. I'm here to show Silphco that I'm an asset that they can't afford to live without.
You know, if you needed something, you could have just asked.
At this, her face kind of scrunches up angrily, but she doesn't say anything. Instead, just turning away and continuing to walk down the hallway.
I guess I'll see you in the ring.
Sooner rather than later, it looks like. Not looking back at you, but pointing over her shoulder, where you can see that the next round's matchups have been posted. And surely enough, Julian Rue is slated to go up against Jane Ekis.
Oh boy. We go into these with Pokemon fully refreshed, right?
Correct. Yes.
Cool. All right.
And is there anything you guys want to do to prepare for the next round, or do you guys just want to go right into it?
Chat, if you want to donate, that would be a great time.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Hey, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm all for it, but you guys are gonna be fine. It's fine.
I'd love to
Fine.
spend any previously unmentioned experience from our wondrous battle wins on mini battles throughout this tournament.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we leveled, right? That happened.
Oh yeah, obviously.
We won
Very-
so many battles as we just narratively described. Clearly,
Yeah, I just destroyed a server room. That's gonna be worth like
It's gotta count for something.
several.
Yeah.
Cool.
No other prep.
Mm.
I don't know. Does guidance do anything? I forget.
Are we doing anything with guidance?
I
feel-
we
feel
were at one point, but I don't know.
I think
if
it was
we
a
still
plus
are.
one.
I think
I
it
think it
was.
was a plus one.
I feel like it was a +1. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You
Thanks,
sure you
Justin.
want to do that? I have like almost unlimited.
I know. We have so many friggin' channel points.
I think that's why we stopped. Because we were
Yeah.
very generous with the
I mean,
channel
it could
points.
be, you could just say like one at a time or something like that. Like only one per.
Yeah.
per roll.
What? Yeah. One per roll or something like that. Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah. If you want, you can give yourselves +1 on all your rolls through like just the end of the game if you really want to.
Who would do that? Not us.
Not me doing the math.
Yeah,
Not I.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would never.
I mean, I'm logged in as the channel, so I have infinite.
No fame can do that 50 times, so they got
Mhm.
they got her back. It's fine.
Cool. Yeah, I don't.
All right. Never say it to nothing for you.
See, this is the problem when people start doing this, though, is now we have to somehow keep track of them.
Mhm.
All right, everybody has one at this moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And then when we use them, people can give us additionals. I'll keep track.
An entirely impartial
Perfect.
outside source. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the time comes, and Julian, you step out under the lights, and you find yourself standing across the arena from your sister, Julienne.
I guess you don't want to talk.
What's there to talk about?
I don't know. It's been a while. Tell me what you've been doing, where you went.
Well, she says as she, reaches for her Pokeball to get the match started. Been laying low a lot. Been sleeping in a lot of sketchy places. Mostly trying to stay off the radar so that the Jennies don't arrest me and send me to prison. Also trying to dodge a lot of, my old Team Rocket associates because they are not really pleased about what happened at the game corner, and they really don't like that my big brother, whom I specifically went out of my way to protect from retaliation when he left the organization, was instrumental in helping to bring down that operation. They are a little cross with me for having done all of that. Yeah, so it hasn't really been a great time. But, I'm here and I'm going to see maybe if I can fix that.
By working for Silphco.
Yeah, that's about the size of it. I mean, I've got tons of management experience.
Yeah, you don't think that's kind of like the same thing?
I think it's better. It's basically the same thing, but legal.
Well, good luck.
And
If that's what you really want.
And again, she sort of kind of screws up her face and looks like she's about to say something, but just, you know what? Just do what you're good at. Just fight.
Okay.
Is she still wearing her disguise?
Yes.
Then Billy, watching this up in the stands, definitely leans over to whoever's next and is like, Julian seems to have a lot of tension with this strange girl. Do you know who this is?
Charlie, who is sitting next to you, is like, I'm gonna, who can say, really? And Julie, I'm gonna call her.
Yeah.
Julie looses the first Pokemon in her roster, forming onto the battlefield. It's two tailing maws snapping behind it. The Mega Mawile.
See if you can make it worth my while. I will send out. Yeah, Julian is gonna blink. Say that's new, but not a problem. And he'll send out Yaki. We're gonna start with Yaki.
Seriously? I'm actually, I'm actually a little insulted.
let's see what you can do. Just barely.
Yup. So going to do.
Oh, your rolls are back.
Yeah. I wish I was rolling it on a move for which it would matter, but in this case it does not. The Mawile sort of forms up, stomping to either side of it, and forming up in a sort of stalwart iron defense.
All right. Let's get into it then. Let's turn up the heat. Actually, he's gonna, Yaki, let's get pumped. Yaki's gonna use Howl. Seven. So succeeds, which is raising attack stats, which I think is raising my move's die type by 1, I think we said.
I think we were saying it's doing a +1.
+1. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine. All right.
Yep. Yeah. So +1 up to a maximum of +4 from bonuses, from like attack raises, basically.
Cool.
And in turn, actually, I guess so. Now it is, I guess, technically the next turn.
It is, but I rolled a 1, so you're going first anyway. Unless you roll a 1, I guess. That's got a 1 in it.
And again, Julie looks like looks kind of miffed, and it's like, seriously? You can't. You always do this. You can't stop treating me like I'm a child. You act like you know better than me. You act like you know what's best for me, and then you condescend me constantly. And no matter what I do for you, no matter what I accomplish, no matter what I achieve, and then we get here, and you treat me with kid gloves, and I can't fucking stand it.
Never wanted to hurt you, Jules.
And I think the Mawile sort of launches forth in an attack, sort of misreading Julie's cues because she's so worked up, and because of that, they're out of sync. And it's a wild strike that he easily avoids, and she's sort of realizing that it made her look silly, sort of stops and sort of pauses and. Well, just because you didn't try doesn't mean you didn't succeed.
Fine. Yaki, use flamethrower. And is it vulnerable to fire? It's a steel type, right?
It is a part steel type, so yes, you get a +2.
Okay. So that is a 12.
It is a 12, which so goes up by 1 and then by 2. Does not quite crit, unfortunately. Yeah. Because it has a bonus and then also a use iron defense. So it's just a regular hit.
We'll do a wound.
Okay. What does that look like?
I think Yaki blasts it with fire, but Yaki is fueled by anger, as we have seen many times before, and Yaki has not taken any damage or anything like that. So I think it is not kind of in keeping with Julian's general demeanor. It is not a huge blast of fire or anything. It's just like more precise, more targeted.
All right. That's a start, certainly, but two can play at that game. So let's roll off for next round.
Let's do it.
The initiative is yours, sir.
All right. Don't let up, Yaki. Take the gloves off. 14 that time.
Okay, that does crit.
Okay. We'll just do 2 wounds straight up.
Okay. That is a normal. Okay, once again, okay. So somebody look at these dice. It's a 7 and a 1, but tell me that these are not the same thing.
They are the same thing.
I'm just like, I'm not going crazy, right?
No, they are.
Okay.
The same thing.
Yeah. And indeed, as the Mawile is sort of bouncing around, sort of visibly trying to shake off the soot and the ash from Yaki's flamethrower, it actually does a sort of a backflip, sort of covering its body with the trailing tails of its maw, somersaulting fluidly backwards into a Pokeball that Julie has palmed, as she, with the same motion, sends out another Pokemon to take Mawile's place, a large Garchomp. In a very well executed pass of the baton.
I see what you did there.
I mean, honestly, half this game is like, wow, how can I try and organically work the names of Pokemon moves into the description of an effect? Some work better than others.
Right, yeah. Like, Yaki, throw some flames.
So we're at the top of the next round now.
Yep.
Throw some flames about it.
You go first.
Okay. Right. As the Garchomp stomps the field, sending out these shock waves throughout the arena. Yaki is sort of buffeted by them, but does not seem to be damaged. But what it has done is it has littered the arena with spikes that present an entry hazard for any of your Pokemon that are coming onto the field.
Okay. And that's it?
Yep.
Okay. No problem. Let's take a second. Yaki, we're going to howl again. Let's It's a 5. I guess I can reroll that 4.
That's true. Yeah.
8, which
And so-
I guess is a crit. Well, I don't know what that means for Howl, but
I think normally we the base for critting is a 10, right?
I thought it was just double the target number. I could be wrong.
That's what it is in the base rules. But we've been using
Okay.
the 10 base for crits.
Got it. Okay, then never mind.
Yep.
Just a Howl, another
Yep.
+1 for Yucky.
Okay. And that gets us to the next round.
Yeah. Fantastic. We're gonna do the same thing. Don't let up.
So I think, let me double check here. Defense. Yeah, so I think that's going to be at a -2 for flamethrower, since Garchomp is dragon. Dragon
Oh, I was
resists
howling
fire.
again. That's what I meant.
howling. Oh, I'm sorry. I think we were flamethrowering. My bad.
No.
All right. Oh, wow.
Those both. Wow. Okay. Kind of wish I'd flamethrower.
Well, tell you what, I will say, since you have double aced on that roll, I will say normally this would be like what, your third howl? It would be like what, total of +3. I will let that double to a +4, which would max you out at the +2, which would max you out at the +4 that you can get for an attack raise.
Okay.
Yeah, and that applies to everyone on your team, correct? With howl.
It should. Yeah, raises the spirit of itself and allies.
Yep. All right. And the Garchomp is once again sort of smashing the ground around it. But what it is doing is it is exploiting the already turned earth of the arena to almost create a sort of a vibrating quicksand beneath Yaki's feet that causes it to sink in, to become entombed in sand. It does no damage, but it does cause them to become trapped. So they will not be able. They will have to use a move to extricate themselves from the trap.
Okay, that is fine. We're gonna go ahead. I guess roll off, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're up first. So we're going to try to extricate ourselves. I can do any move for that?
Any move, yeah.
Okay. Then I think it will be a flamethrower situation. I think if it's quicksand, we're going to try to melt that into glass, and then she'll be able to slide out of it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10.
All right, yeah, you have successfully managed to sort of boil the sand around you into molten and rapidly cooling glass. The heat sort of radiates up from it as Yaki sort of like rises out of this pit.
Yeah, I think she just sort of leaps into the air and then lands. I got a 10. Yeah, I got a 10. Does that mean any of it can carry over? Or do I get anything extra?
No, because I'm just concerned of going against the roll that the Sand Tomb got, which was also a 10.
That's fine.
Okay, all right. as I think the Garchomp rears back and looses out a breath of draconic energy that arcs across the arena and attempts to hit Yaki just as they are climbing out of the pit, trying to exploit their distraction. But this, even though it is not strictly fire, it is sufficiently like fire that it just sort of washes over Yaki harmlessly.
And Julian is going to say, or is that roll off? Yeah, we roll off, right?
Yeah. Oof.
Oof. Julian is going to say, that's your opening. And we're going to use Flamethrower, but this time offensively. So you said it's a -2, correct?
It would be a -2, yeah.
Cool. So +2, basically.
Yep.
Okay, it's an 11.
Okay. It will hit. It will not crit, unfortunately.
Okay, that is fine. I blast Garchomp with fire.
Right. What does that look like?
I think Yaki's going to start moving around the field, so kind of blurs, and then starts to move, appearing in random spots around the arena, and then just like manages to get behind Garchomp and then fully just blasts him in the back with a full force flamethrower.
Okay. And okay. And 11. Does that crit on Yaki or no?
It is a crit. It's just a regular crit, though.
Okay.
Just one crit.
As I think Garchomp then sort of turns and almost sort of like inhales the flamethrower into its mouth before loosing forth with another dragon's breath attack. They get into almost like a beam fight, basically. Trying to force back the gale of flame from Yaki's assault. And in this moment, it will end up wounding Yaki, but there is this brief moment of calm. Even the audience has sort of hushed as they're sort of waiting to see which gout of flame will ultimately prevail. And in this sort of stillness and silence, you and Julie's eyes meet again across the arena. And you realize this is the first time that like she usually puts forth this front of being very self-assured, of being very competent, and being generally unflappable. But you think back to what she had said earlier about being here out of, she said it sort of flippantly, being here out of desperation. And in this moment, she really does look desperate. Like she is almost like willing Garchomp to succeed. Like you, to one degree or another, seem to be, approaching this fight without necessarily like going all out the way you would in some other fights. But it is apparent to you that Julie is going all out with you, trying her hardest just to try and get on your level. And in this sort of act of will, her eyes wide, almost bloodshot, the Garchomp's gale of flame overtakes Yaki for 2 wounds.
Not bad. But it's not over yet.
See, that's just it. You think it's ever over. You think it ever can be over. It's never over. You want to leave fighting behind. But that's That's not for people like us, big brother. You might have popular friends now, but sooner or later, you're gonna end up back where we started. And you'll have to fight again. The way we've been doing our entire lives.
That's just it, Julie. I was wrong. I said I never wanted to fight again. I said that I wanted to leave it all behind. I was wrong. The difference is, I don't fight for myself anymore. I fight for others. I'll show you. Let's roll off.
Okay. Why am I? Nope, that's not correct. Brendan, nope, stop. Stop.
Billy has again leaned over to Charlie, and then this time is like, "Wait, Charlie, are you popular?"
I do think it's kind of funny as I imagine Billy saying this to Charlie, like, and then the camera sort of zooms out as Billy is sitting in the front row of his new fan club.
Yeah. Everybody's wearing Billy shirts. Yaki. His guard's down. Show him what we do. And Yaki's gonna like spin the little stick that she carries now and just fully try to blast the Garchomp with a Psybeam. So no penalty for that, correct?
Should not be a penalty, no.
Cool. Okay. Then that is a 16.
Okay, so that is a crit.
2 wounds, baby.
Okay. How does that look?
I think that this is very calculated. Like this, it's clear that Yaki has sort of been biding her time. They both, like Julian and Yaki, have been biding her time, and so she's been moving around the battlefield a lot. She powered herself up. She was using fire to kind of get the Garchomp off its guard and to get it to attack. And now that there was an opening, basically she is switching tactics to use a psychic move instead of a fire move and catch him again with his defenses down, basically.
All right, and that blast of mystical energy from the end of Yaki's wand strikes the Garchomp again, so once again the Garchomp tries to pull forth with a gale of Dragon's Breath to get it into another one of these beam fights, but it intercepts the blast right in front of its face, but it doesn't last very long. It is quickly overwhelmed with Yaki's mystic energy, and in a tremendous flash of light, as everyone gradually regains their senses, the Garchomp is fainted. And Julie sends out the Mawile again.
And Julian, I think, is going to call across the battlefield to her now. You want to win? Show me how bad.
Okay. We're going to roll off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep. And let me double check something real quick. does... I don't... Fairy... I know Fairy's not actually new anymore, but to me it's still new enough that I have to double check what its types are.
Yep, every time.
Okay. Okay,
Good against dragon.
It's good against dragon, dark, and fighting. It does take a -2 against fire. So... so only an 11.
That's a crit.
That is a crit, though? Okay, cool. And as the Mawile begins to grapple with Yaki, and you can see that it has Yaki's limbs both trapped in its maws, in the mouths behind its head, and while Yaki's arms are grappled, it is visibly draining the life force from Yaki for only one wound, but healing itself for a wound in the process.
Well, that is going to be 3 wounds to Yaki. So she's going to faint.
Okay.
Yeah, Julian will call her back to the Pokeball and say, "That's more like it." And throw out Brunoise, who appears in a burst of light onto the battlefield. Sort of slides to a stop. I imagine there's a reaction from the crowd because Brunoise has just been tearing through this. Competition.
At this point, there's even like a little bit of a chant through the crowd of just Brunoise. Brunoise actually seems to be a little bit more popular even than Julian is.
As it should be.
Yeah. Even Billy's fan club is like, even though it's not like Billy has like ever told them not to cheer for Julian, that's obviously not how Billy is, but like the fan club feels a certain loyalty to Billy, but several of them also kind of go quiet. It's like Brunoise.
Oh no, Billy's the loudest. We're all wearing Golduck masks. Make no mistake, we've all pulled down like Golduck masks over our face and are chanting it in the crowd.
Haunter is blowing on like 2 vuvuzelas simultaneously. All right, let's roll off.
All right. Okay. Very cool. Amazing. All right, Brunoise. Let's show her how we got here. Zen headbutt. That is a 22 with the bonus from Howl.
Yep, sure is. So yeah, that is at least a double crit.
I think technically it's a 20, not to be that person, but a psychic versus steel.
To steel resist psychic.
Yeah, it's weird, but it does.
I'll take a 20.
Yeah. So yeah, sure does. I'm still I mean, honestly, it's even at a 20, is that a double crit? You know what? Honestly, it can still be a single crit and it'll still be fine. You're doing 2 wounds, I'm assuming.
Just wounds, yeah.
That's fine. Even at a single crit, it is sufficient to KO the Mawile.
Brunoise blasts across the battlefield, slams directly into the Mawile.
Yes, this Mawile is not doing any of the Mr. Rhyme shenanigans. And yeah, sure enough, with his signature move, Brunoise blasts across the battlefield, and the Mawile latches on and once again sort of tries to grapple with Brunoise and just kind of trying to dig in its feet as it's being pushed back through the earth of the broken earth of the arena. But it is ultimately unable to hang on and is knocked out. Although, as Brunoise is picking himself up from the tussle, you do notice that the sharp spiked stones that are left in the arena from Garchomp's earlier move do seem to have injured him somewhat. This isn't damage, but his toughness is reduced by 1.
Okay. Okay. Fair.
And at this point, Julie looks at you and is like, all right, well, I guess our old pets get to meet each other in a whole new way. And Julie lets out her hunch crow.
You really want this?
I know that I don't have a choice.
Why is that?
This is the only way that I can be somebody, that I can be safe, that I can be powerful. And I know that doesn't make any sense to you, but it does to me. Because you keep insisting that you can protect me, that you'll always be there. But Mom and Dad weren't. And eventually, you left too. So I learned I have to do it on my own. No matter who I have to crawl over to get there.
Not about me protecting you, Jules. It's about me supporting you. You're strong enough to protect yourself. You don't need me. You don't need Team Rocket. You don't need Selfco. And if you really think beating me is going to get you everything you need, everything you want, then fine. But you're going to have to work for it.
Go ahead and, I'm going to say, go ahead and make me a heart roll.
You can do that. That's a 1.
We do have luck in the pool.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, sure. Why not? I could try to re-roll it. Statistically, it's not in my favor, but why not? This feels important. That is a 4.
It's a 4. Julie looks at you for a long moment. Isn't even just looking at you, she's looking at Brunoise. And there is sort of a moment where, again, in this sort of stillness, as the audience sort of waiting to see what you're going to do, there's occasionally there's sort of a dickhead up in the upper rows. It's like, fight, just do something, just kick him or something. But in this long pause, this silence, for a moment, the two of you are kids again, and the Pokemon by your sides are a Psyduck and a Murkrow. And young Julie, just tears in her eyes, just says, screw this, and turns away and just walks out of the arena. And there is a long moment, and you start to kind of go after her, but at that moment the intercom comes on. Chet Sylph. Hey, hey, yeah, like what a really crazy thing to have happen, in the middle of a match. Honestly, pretty kind of unprecedented, in the history of this whole thing, even though I know we've really only done it the 1 year. But yeah, that's a forfeit. Yeah, I guess Julian rocks. Yeah, takes it. Yeah, Julian rocks, everybody. Gonna advance to the next round. Yeah, everybody. And the audience then erupts into cheers.
And Billy up in the stands is just talking to Charlie again. It's like, I battled one of those once, just a while ago, and then like thinks back on the whole battle, and then just goes, "Oh."
Can Julian go after Julie?
Yes.
Like he's not going to pause while everybody's cheering. He's just going to go.
Yeah. And so Julian runs after Julie into the concrete hallway, and then panning back to Billy. Billy is, you're sort of putting it together, and you're realizing, why Julian is running after her, and you're almost kind of like peering over to see if he managed to catch up with her, but then you get a little alert, and you were not really paying attention, and you forgot that you were supposed to be on deck, because you are actually the next match.
I think Billy like panics for a moment, but then he it's like, Shiloh, and Shiloh just walks up, teleport, and drops him and Billy like onto the stand in the ring, and not a like that should be a cool entrance, but Billy definitely like falls to the ground and then has to get up and dust himself off, and is like, I'm here.
It's fine. We're all fine here. It's all cool. You don't need time management when you have teleport. And you sort of collect yourself, and you are looking back across to the other end of the arena, sort of down the hallway, where just trying to catch a glimpse of Julian and Julie. But you then find your eyes falling upon your challenger. Okay, you had not really been paying super close attention to who you're being bracketed up against for each of these rounds. But the person that is walking up the concrete stairs to the opposite end of the arena gives you pause. You are standing for the first time in a long time, face to face with Jack.
Jack? I thought you were gone.
He looks kind of confused. I'm sorry, how do you know my name?
I guess you just look like someone I knew. What's your name? It's nice to meet you, Billy Baker.
My name is Jack. It's why I was asking how you knew my name. Do I know you? Sorry, I'm sorry. That comes off really rough. I've been having some memory problems lately. So if we've met, I am so sorry. I've been really, really bad with names and faces lately.
Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, we met before. You know what? Why don't we have a nice battle, and I'll catch you up on it after.
All right. Yeah. Good. Good match. And yeah, that is sort of a strange expression on his face. Have we battled before?
Yeah.
I mean, in the weirdest sense of deja vu.
Yeah, we have. It was a while ago. Some things have changed since then, but
Did I win?
yeah, you did. You always did.
Nice. Well, good luck. And he walks over to the opposite side of the arena and readies his first Pokemon. And when he lifts out of his ball, it is strange. It is a Pokemon that you've never seen before. It is almost like something that's wearing like a heavy pelt, peering out from inside a pair of darkened eyes.
You know what? Why don't you give it a shot, Tum Tum? Little Pika Red is gonna hop off my shoulders.
Say the thing.
What am I saying? Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted by chat. Honoguma. and Jack actually looks a little odd when he sees Honoguma come out. Oh, you have one too.
Yeah.
Sorry, just my Pokemon have been strange recently. I've been a little strange recently.
Yeah. I think you've been through a lot. I might be able to help with that.
All right. Well, let's roll off for first round.
That is a 4.
Well, still beat me.
I need to pick different dice because this is going to get real confusing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Will demanded that I start using yours. I can switch to another pair. That's fine.
No, I mean there's gay dice apparently, so I feel like I should just take those.
Gay dice.
Gay dice.
How do we clear it? Now I have 2 sets of dice. I just want the others. Okay, I don't know how to.
I don't think you have to clear the others. I think
there's a replace all button. Okay,
Yeah.
I did add all, and it just gave me
because
double dice.
you can technically like mix and match from the different sets.
Yeah. Okay, all good.
Good luck and Godspeed.
So I get to go first, right?
Correct.
All right. You know what, Hanaguma? Let's see if we can help a little bit. You know, you never understood why I took moves like this, but I always thought they were useful. Tum Tum, use Play Nice. And that's E8 and E8. It makes no mechanical difference, but I would like to argue that I am using a heart instead of tactics for this.
Sure. Yeah.
That is an 8, which
Those are extremely gay dice.
Lowers the target's attack stat.
Okay, cool. By is it a single fall or greatly fell?
It seems like it's just a single one because I'm assuming an 8 did not crit. So
yeah. Okay. And Jack doesn't actually call out the moves to his Pokemon. It seems almost as like he isn't fully directing them, or at the very least, if he is, he's almost directing them instinctually. And actually, let me actually, roll to see what happens. Huh? Oh, not that. Dun. Okay, that's on the D10, so that isn't okay. I gotta double check. I think I gotta say minus. Oh, my apologies. I was dumb and did not pull up. I did not pull up the moves between games because I am a dumb person.
Shame. So much shame.
Shame on the house of
Challenge cow.
Sherlock. Sorry, just gotta bring these up real quick. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Bad?
I'm good.
Good
I'm
until
okay,
you
just
use
talk
my
about
love interest
downstairs.
again as your emotional punching bag, Brendan.
This thing's weird. This thing has Digimon energy. Something about the eyes
Yes,
in
very
like, the
much.
darkness.
Mm. Honestly, I like it. I like these designs. I can find the artist on Twitter that they did the several of these unused beta Pokemon in a Ken Sugimori kind of style.
That is very cool.
And ice does that's what I thought. Yes, okay, so it does take a -2, so that will not crit. As the temperature drops dramatically in the arena, and you can see your breath. You can see the audience's breath. Steam just is rising from the surface of Honoguma, and the temperature just plummets, and even the lights begin to dim, as though like the high energy reactions required to keep the electricity going are slowing down. The electrons themselves are approaching absolute zero, and this glaciating cold inflicts a wound on Honoguma, and there is something about this intense void that this cold reminds you of. Like, it almost does remind you of the other place.
Huh. Nice type, huh? Was never really your style. Some things have changed.
All right, we roll off. What was it? Was it not my style? I've been having trouble remembering. I feel like all these Pokemon feel like they're mine, but I just kind of woke up with them. I don't always understand why they do the things that they do, but it feels right, even if I don't necessarily always feel like I'm in control. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You've been through a lot. People change. You used to be all fire types. A lot of passion, but lots happened.
Mm-hmm. That is a yes. Okay, just barely gets there.
Does the -1 affect that? From my play nice?
That's a good question. I think in this case, yeah, I think it does. The Warwolf is technically what its name is. Excellent name. No notes. Rears back and lets out a howl that is meant to sort of echo through the room. It's meant to rile up both itself and Jack's other Pokemon, but it actually feels kind of subdued. That something about the presence of Honoguma in the ring is sort of dulling its influence, its impact. And while the howl sounds like many other Pokemon that you have heard, there is something about it that just this almost kind of clangorous metallic afternote that reminds you of the missing numbers.
Well, all right, Tum. Let's guess it's time to start dealing some damage. Let's try for a Fire Fang. There's a +2 on that too. I assume it's Ice type?
It is Ice type, yes.
Okay, so that is a...
It is a pure Ice type.
9. And I would like to use my 1 guidance from earlier to bump that up to a 10 in the hopes that that's a crit.
That will.
So yeah, just double damage.
Okay. What does that look like?
I think there's this kind of like, I think there's like that eerie haunting howl, and like Tum was with me when we fought the missing numbers. It was just him and Shiloh. So I think all of a sudden there's like been this kind of light, playful tone, and all of a sudden like the little like angry eyes come back, and like Tum is angry again, and it just leaps onto this wolf and like sinks flaming teeth into like the pelt, or on it's like maybe on its little like claw it has out exposed from the pelt, and just chomps in with little fiery teeth.
All right. Well, let's was that the end of the round?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's roll off. Well, and Jack has sort of a weird expression on his face, like, no, wait, no, I can't lose. I can't lose. We can't lose like this. We have to win. We have to win. And going to make a d6 roll because it has a 1 in 3 chance of success. It did not succeed. As once again this Warwolf sort of pulls in this cryonic energy, this cold from beyond space and time, and tries to concentrate it all into a single point, a single sub-Kelvin zone that would essentially a sheer cold, if you will, that would subdue even Honoguma in a single stroke. But again, maybe something about the presence of Honoguma is interfering with its ability to manipulate the reality around it, and it can't quite get the cold where it needs to be in the face of the heat that Honoguma is putting off.
And
Absolutely not.
and Tum is just gonna keep trying to nom away. I'm just gonna do another
nom,
fire
nom.
thing. The 6.
Okay. That will succeed.
1 wound.
Okay, how's that look?
I think it has moved from the arm of this thing, and now it is like the pelt has been. Assuming the pelt shifts. If the pelt doesn't shift, this might not work. But I'm assuming the pelt shifts a little bit, and it's like now just biting on like the head. Like it has moved up and it's just like chomping down as this thing is like trying to get Honoguma off, and it is just anger, teeth, and little sparks of fire.
Yeah, it turns out it just looks like a dude in there. It's kind of disconcerting. And indeed, the werewolf finally gives up the ghost, collapsing in exhaustion, fainted. And then it's sort of looking at you strangely, it's like, wait, I do remember you. Gallade. I remember a Gallade. I've got something like that now too. But what he sends out of his Pokeball, it does sort of have the shape of Shiloh's evolutionary line, this Gallade or Gardevoir, but it is distinctly different. All right, let's roll off.
I don't like it. Don't do it.
So I think we've mostly fixed the problem of Brendan's rolls being impossibly good. We now have to fix the problem of Liz's rolls being impossibly bad.
I took all the good rolls the first half of the stream. That's the problem.
Just statistically, I feel like we've evened things out for Brendan, but it does not make any sense for Liz still.
All right, this is the fighting move on pure fire. So yeah, so flat, just 8. As this iron creature lifts its energy glaive and strikes down through some of the broken stones that are still left over in the arena from the previous fight, smashing through them, breaking them like bricks, and at last getting its momentum forward and striking squarely and precisely at Honoguma for 1 damage.
That's a physical hit, right?
That is a physical hit, yes.
Well, then it has 30% chance of being burned.
All right.
I want to roll my d6. 5 or 6. Nope.
Alas, no. Not this time.
And then, all right, Tum Tum, you're looking a little rough. So, why don't you push yourself a little bit and see what you can do for a good hit on this one? And we're going to use Burn Up. That is a D8 and a D6. Is this thing steel?
No, actually, it is fairy fighting. It looks like it should be steel, but it is not.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't think fire does anything with any of... Yeah. Very... Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's a 6.
That will succeed.
Okay, that is 2 wounds, because it's burn up, but my flame body effect no longer triggers.
Right. Cool.
As Tum seems a little like wiped and a little like less is radiated and less heat after like slamming into it, like as like a little ball of fire. Pull off.
Yep. All right.
There we go. Does trading out burn a turn if your Pokemon's not knocked out?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then
unless they have one of the moves that lets them do something and switch out.
Yeah. No, we're good. Does fairy resist fairy? No, it's neutral. Okay. As Tum seems to have kind of cooled off, Billy's say, all right, well, for this one, fire doesn't seem to be as big of a thing, so why don't you try and use Play Rough? I'm going to do that. That is an 8.
Okay. That will hit.
And that only triggers on a crit, so it's just 1 wound.
Okay, well, that is enough in this case. It was buffeted significantly by the force of that burn up attack, such that if you want to describe what Honoguma does.
Yeah, I think like it's hit Honoguma, and like Honoguma like kind of gets back up and it's like cooled off, and it just kind of glares at it, and it just runs up and like leaps up onto the top of the little like helmet, and then just wails back with a little tiny furry fist and just hits it once across the mask, and then like as it falls over, like rides it down to the ground and then hops off.
Gonk.
And I think Honoguma has developed this habit throughout the tournament when it wins of just sticking its little paws up in like the like champion like pose, but with the tiny little arms. So it's just doing this as it like walks back.
And the fan club is eating it up. All right, I guess it's just he goes to what his last Pokeball. I guess just me and you, buddy. I know things have been weird lately. I know we're both a little different now, but I think we can still turn this thing around. And he lets out an Arcanine from his Pokeball. Though it is, like everything else on his team, a bit different than what you've seen before.
At that, though, Billy still kind of grins. There we go.
No.
That's one of your Pokemon. A little rough for the wear, but a little different, but so are mine. But I recognize that face at least.
Let's roll off. Nice. Is it also just double? See, I'm so used to our like pretty standard psychic matchups, and now that I'm using other types, I have to go back and double check what some of the weird type interactions are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is not a double crit, but it is a single crit, as the Arcanine sort of roars with a sound almost like tectonic plates grinding against one another, cement on cement. And as it does so, the broken stones of the arena all seem to lift into the air as if sort of bounced by some tremendous impact. All of them clustering around Honoguma and entombing it in rocks for 2 wounds.
And that's it for Honoguma. And as usual for Billy's battles, Shiloh just hops down to grab the Pokemon that had fainted and bring it back up to let it rest next to Billy. This matchup never went well for me, but I think it might help you remember. Aster, why don't you give it a shot? And Aster's going to go out onto the field because Growlithe and Skidoo used to battle.
Although it might go a little bit better for you this time, since this Arcanine is Fire Rock. So Grass type actually might be neutral in this case. Yeah. Does Fire resist Grass?
That's a good question.
It does, yeah. Fire resists Grass, but since it is also Rock, which is weak, it will be neutral. It's all right. Let's roll off.
Wait, did I get my attack that round? Because you went first, right? So technically, do I get an attack on the back half that round?
Yeah, if you want to, sure. And not just because I rolled a 1 for initiative.
Yeah, if you want to attack, you can, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to get your turn, sure, why not? All right. I think Aster's kind of standing out there, and then Billy kind of smirks to himself again. He's like, we learned this one the first time I almost got close to beating you. Aster, do a bulldoze. And I'm going to do that with 2d8s, and I believe I should get a +4.
Yeah, I think that's correct, yeah.
Ground is against rock and fire.
Yeah, rock weak to ground for some reason. Never really figured that out, but okay.
So that is a 13.
All right, well, that is a crit.
And we are going to do... You're actually rolling relatively close to me, so I think we're going to do the -1 to initiative and 1 wound.
Okay.
And then now we can have that roll off.
Okay. Whap whap.
Let's see. All right. Aster, we've shown him something familiar, but now let's show him how you've changed. Let's do a Zen headbutt. And I've been meaning to bring this up, but it didn't come up in the first round because you threw a dark type trainer at me. I would like to make the case that since Billy's training involving rest, recuperating, and his aura grew, not his tactics, narrative choice I made for story purposes, that I would like to reward that by whenever my Pokemon use exclusively psychic moves and they're in sync with Billy, I can use aura instead of tactics.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So that is a D10 and a D8. Which I get to reroll the 10.
Nice.
I thought I was going to do it again. That is a 17.
Okay. That is not quite a double crit, but it is a crit.
And what does a flinch do again?
Flinch, they take a
-2.
Yeah, I believe so.
Was it one away from a double crit?
No, it would have to hit a 20 to get to a double crit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, we'll just do the 2 wounds then.
Okay. And what does that look like?
I think it is like that Arcanine's pretty big, and Shiloh or Aster backs up and starts to charge, and there's like a glow around its horns, and it jumps and slams into the Arcanine, and then kind of bounds back, and there's like kind of like a impact, but then like a kind of recovery, and then there's that like shaking after the fact, and the Arcanine kind of like drops down like it got hit way harder like a second later.
All right. 13. Just say 13 crit Aster at this point.
Yes.
Okay. As the Arcanine rears up, and you can see this furnace-like glow coming from within its sort of carved stone body, heating its fangs up to an orange hot glow that it uses to bound forward, leaving these streaks of orange light across the dimmed arena and striking Aster with a fire fang for 2 wounds.
And then roll off.
Yep.
Ugh. Really wish that was the 1, not the 7.
Yep. As once again the stoking of that internal furnace seems to get even hotter. This glow sort of expanding out to this stony mane that surrounds the Arcanine like a gorget, as it continues with its furious fire fang assault for another 2 wounds.
And I am going to use Billy's fan club ability, and it's going to be like there's like a wave of like nervousness, and then like a cheer when you see that like this fire fang that should have finished Aster, it seems to have not affected it, as there's like it's like grown like extra grass and overgrowth, and it seems to have not quite reached. It's almost kind of matched Arcanine's poofiness with its own like grassy mane kind of growing wider and protecting its neck from the bite, as it turns and slams its head in to try and do a horn leech.
All right.
And that is 10. Is that enough to crit?
That is enough to crit.
Okay, so we are going to do...
Explodes. That's a D8.
Oh, you're right. Even better. 15.
Right.
And yeah, it's gonna slam its horn back in, like as they're kind of like tied up with each other, slams its horn in, and the vines come out and start to wrap around the Arcanine. And we are going to inflict 1 wound and heal 1 wound.
Very cool. I almost picture these vines almost kind of crawling over it like kind of like mangrove vines over sort of like old stone ruins.
Yeah. New round, right?
Yep.
Yeah. 3.
And in this case, the Arcanine sort of takes a different tack, once again snarling at Aster, the sort of deep, concrete, scraping snarl, forcing out this sort of sooty blackness around its stone maw. And Aster takes 2 wounds.
And that is enough. So Aster goes down.
You do have a luck point.
I know. This is his last Pokemon, though, right?
It seems to be, yes.
Yeah, so it's fine. I think Aster goes down, and Shiloh again teleports down, grabs, brings it back. Billy again just kind of shakes his head. It's like, yeah, that matchup just never quite lines up right for us. But you did a good job, Aster. Shiloh, we never got to have this fight. You were a lot more nervous back then. Go ahead. And Shiloh's going to teleport back into the ring. And it is my turn, right?
Yep.
And we are going to do a close combat, I think. That is an 11. Does that crit?
It does. Like, it actually takes its fighting move, right?
Yeah, so actually it's 13.
Yeah, it's a +2 versus rock. So that does crit.
Okay, so that would be, because of how close combat works, 3 wounds.
All right. Yeah. Describe how that looks.
Yeah, is that enough to drop it just for my flavoring?
That is, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think Shadow just teleports back to the ring, and this thing is kind of big and looming and fiery. And like, I think maybe there's a moment where actually the Arcanine kind of like leaps out to try and bite, and Shiloh just disappears and then appears above it, and it's just one firm like blow to the top of the head that drops the Arcanine. before Shiloh lands back on the ground.
And at that point, the Arcanine is fainted, and the crowd again lets out a massive cheer. And Jack, returning the Arcanine to his Pokeball, looks mildly stunned for a second, as if he's trying to kind of figure out what just happened in that way that he almost kind of like autopiloted through that match in a haze. But there is, at the end, a faint glimmer of recognition. Maybe next time you'll even beat me, right?
Guess so. And as Ling Ling immediately starts doing medic and like trying to, heal the others, Billy's gonna hop down and walk over to like Jack's side of the ring. And as he does, he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out this like folded up piece of something and starts folding out this like very old, very worn looking like Polaroid picture. And it's a picture of like Billy and Jack like hugging each other, and Aster and Jack's Growlithe are in the photo too. And Billy just kind of holds it up to him. It's like, maybe I can help you remember a little bit if you'd like.
And I think that's where we're going to call it for this session. Thank you so much. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. What was that? Sorry?
I just said bravo.
Oh, bravo. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging with us this evening. I know we went a little long, but I hope that everyone appreciates the necessity for maximum emotional damage. Usually I don't get to do emotional damage on every single one of the characters in a session, but this session, the penultimate session, I was determined that I was going to get the hat trick.
Times 3 modifier.
So for all of you guys out there in Chatland, if you watched, if you chatted, if you donated especially, it really does mean the world to us. Everything that we do benefits a really great cause, and we would not be able to make any of that happen without you guys. If you would like to hang with us some more, figure out when we are going live next, you can join our Discord. You can also find our schedule over on livefromtheapocalypse.com. We have generally a pretty cool group of people there. I might be a little bit biased, though. And I think with that, if we want to start doing outros and plugs here, starting with the wheel over here on the left.
We can do that. Let me. Sorry. Here we go. Hi. Hello, my name is Will. I do a bunch of stuff on the channel here. Mostly you can find me here live from the Apocalypse, running Academy H, which is our actual podcast. Running Class Reunion, which is our D&D game that we play on Tuesdays. But this one, generally just doing a lot of cool stuff. I think that is pretty much all I have. My brain is fried. That's all I got. There's a social media handle. That's it. Tomorrow night, you do have to come back tomorrow night. We're doing first episode of Shadows Between the Stacks. I do realize that you're hearing twice, but that's okay. I can only kind of fix it. There we go. That should be better. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. So yeah, Shadows Between the Stacks tomorrow night. It's a Call of Cthulhu game. Check it out. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. More on social media. That's it for me.
I was gonna say, are you complaining about having 2 times the will? Like, what? Why are you complaining about this? Hi, I'm Heather. I don't really have any extras that are going on, but I've been playing Estelle East here tonight, and eventually I will also be playing. I think the next thing I'm in is going to be Cryptid Community College Season 2, which August, September, somewhere in that. But
August
is when we are doing this. Augustus months. Yeah, so I don't really have anything else to plug right now. I too am fried and understand that pain. Have a great evening, all.
Hey all, I'm Liz. You can find me around the channel and various things. I show up reasonably often. I've got something hopefully coming at some point in the future that should be pretty cool. And then obviously there's one more session of this, which you should definitely tune in for. But I will echo the brain fried and say have a good night.
Bye.
And I guess that goes four for me. Thank you for joining me for a very brain fried session. I was saying to you before we went live that I did not sleep basically at all last night. So I was like going like, all right, let's do all the stuff that I had planned for this session with middling to non-existent executive function. Yeah, let's do it. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Tune in next week for our finale session. The finale. 2 weeks from now, I was meant to say. 2 weeks from now, for our, see again, brain fried, finale session of Missing Numbers. Been a wild 18 months. Actually, was this the third or fourth game on the channel?
Third, I believe.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if us or Class Reunion technically premiered
I
first.
think this started before Class Reunion.
Okay. Yeah, it has been real crazy to have been the third ever game on the channel amongst now many that we have now.
So many games.
And I'm not going to wax too poetic about it because we're not done yet. We got one more session.
The tears are for next time.
Yeah, you got to survive the next session.
And the follow-up Smash or Pass session.
I was really hoping we had forgotten about that.
I have
absolutely not.
But so when I am not doing this, I am also playing Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, over on our Masks Actual Play podcast. Also, you can catch me this Friday playing Teenage Limbo Frankenstein Sepher in Thy Kingdom Come.
They're my favorite.
And then also, coming up in this August, we will be starting up season 2 of Cryptid Community College. We'll be doing that similar to the Masks format, where we're going to be streaming the sessions live, and then the podcast episodes will be fully edited to come out at a later time. And I think, at long last, that is everything from me. So do not go away. I think we're probably going to be rating one of the many other fantastic TTRPG creators here on Twitch. So be excellent and to say hi and tell them that Live from the Apocalypse sent you.